Pedro Pascal is rapidly becoming the new Rachel Zegler, sabotaging Disney and destroying their hopes at the box office. Now they're terrified that drama might rise out just in time for Fantastic Four to drop out at theaters. In fact, it's so bad that Disney and Marvel are doing reshoots for Fantastic Four weeks before it releases. And yes, we've got photos of it. We'll prove it. We'll show it right now. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a very happy Friday afternoon if you're watching this video at the time of release. Welcome back to the channel that just oozes optimism in a way that not even the Holly Weirds can possibly understand. Marvin, the movie monster Montanero, is with us again. Marvin, welcome back, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Marvin, I'm optimistic. Disney is optimistic. Marvel, they're optimistic, but for very different reasons. They're optimistic because they think they can fix Fantastic Four in time, and they are running out of time quickly. I'm optimistic because you and I, we like telling the truth with a capital T. Folks, as we get started, click the like button. And yes, indeed, Fantastic Four is going into reshoots. Marvin, this thing comes out in weeks. It comes out in weeks, Marvin.
2.5 months. I saw this morning when that they posted this image of the lady playing the female Silver Surfer, and I did the math, and I'm like, wait, this is exactly what happened with Captain America: Brave New World, and we saw how that worked out. So this is not a good thing for a movie that I think Marvel is kind of hoping will be the tentpole of its universe going forward.
Absolutely, and Bob Iger is touting Thunderbolts. He's bragging about it. Sorry, folks. I mean the new Avengers, of course. They are saying that it's a return to form for Marvel, but they are acting as if that is not the case. Let me show this to you real quick before we get started on what's going on with Fantastic Four. Folks, if you take a look at this daily box office performance for Thunderbolts, you can see that after a weekend in which it performed under the Eternals, it had a 72% drop on the Monday, picked up on Tuesday, and it was down again 42% on Wednesday, making only $4 million on Wednesday. We don't have the Thursday numbers yet, but we will. And it's now looking, I don't see any way, Marvin, that this is going to hit the 100 million domestically before the second weekend. So it'll be the second weekend where it has to achieve that. And I just want people to understand, because right now there's a feeling of, because of that announcement Disney did with the theme park, Disney can't lose. Bob Iger, he's finally got the victory he needed. And I just want to remind people, I just want to remind you that the Disney stock is sitting where, it is traditionally. They're having a good couple of days because of the announcement. But don't wash away what's going on culturally where Marvel can't connect. Let's read this article and I'll explain. Just know that even if Iger comes out there and says, oh, the Thunderbolts is a return to form, folks, it's performing worse than the Eternals. I don't want to be negative, but they know that. I know that. You know that. They don't want normies to know that. And they're trying to fix Fantastic Four, because if it fails, that will be 3 Marvel flops in 2025 and could cause Avengers Doomsday to go down in flames in 2026, which would be humiliating and financially devastating right before Iger leaves. Here's the article. It says Fantastic Four First Steps undergoing reshoots nearly 2 months before release. It says Marvel's Fantastic Four First Steps is entering dangerous territory with late-stage reshoots just months before it hits the big screen, with 2.5 months until its scheduled July 25th, 2025 release date. The highly publicized Marvel reboot is currently undergoing filming once again in Los Angeles. And for many, this echoes a familiar disaster for Marvel Studios and Disney. Ladies and gentlemen, lest you believe that we are pulling this out of a hat, lest you say, oh, come on, it's another rumor. No, take a look at that. Julia Garner as the Silver Surfer, but less silver, getting additional photography and shooting in L.A., but not dressed in the way you would expect for the Silver Surfer. Marvin, walk us through. What does this mean? Why is she doing more shoots, do you believe?
Well, maybe they're trying to flesh out her backstory a bit more. This to me looks like it could be some kind of flashback scene. The Daily Mail shared this as well, and they did not go into any kind of obviously plot specifics, but it looks like there's going to be more to her character than just being the Herald of Galactus. Like maybe we're going to see, maybe she's not the Silver Surfer by the end of it. We're not entirely sure, but it looks like we are going to be seeing her in human form or, Zenlaian form at some point in this.
Now, this goes on the article, folks, and you need to go read the whole part of it. We can't read the entire article for a video, but we want you to go check it out on thatparkplace.com. It talks about how close this is to the film. I mean, we are talking about weeks. I mean, honestly, folks, we are in the middle of May. Sorry, I know it. I know it's shocking to hear that, and I hope everybody's getting their summer plans ready. But Marvel is getting their summer plans ready, and their summer plans need to be concrete at this point. We are down now to, let's see, about 2 weeks, 3 weeks in May, and then you've got 4 weeks. Yeah, we're under 10 weeks, really. And this movie needs to be done far before it releases to theaters. I mean, you can't, maybe they're going to come down to the wire. I don't know, but it talks about how this is not the first time this happened. This also happened with Brave New World. As you said, Marvin, we saw how that went. It did not go well. And oh, by the way, Marvin, there's major controversy as well with Pedro Pascal. We'll talk about that. But Marvin, walk us through what happens when Marvel waits until the last minute to try to fix things, and what does that indicate perhaps behind the scenes?
Well, if you're shooting a rom-com or something very simple like that, late stage reshoots probably aren't the end of the world. But in Marvel, these movies and every single scene have usually got some kind of CGI or major VFX going on in the background or in the foreground. As we saw in Captain America Brave New World, what Frankensteining these scenes together will do. It was highly obvious. There were definite green screen shots. The movie was just completely disjointed from scene to scene. And that's what I think a lot of people think you're now going to see with this. We already know that this has been a very troubled production. The script was torn up and rewritten a million different times. There were a whole bunch of different writers that came in. I think there were writers from Avatar. There were writers from WandaVision, writers from Black Widow, all coming in and out through this revolving door because they could not get a clear vision on what they wanted this movie to be. And to me, that just says they still don't know what they want it to be if they're still making changes this late in the game.
Now, just to explain to people why they would be doing reshoots this late, and I mean this is late. Folks, think about Thunderbolts / New Avengers. It currently has 177 million at the worldwide, 91 million at the domestic, which means going into the second weekend, it will not have eclipsed 100 million. This is a movie that was supposed to set up the excitement for Avengers Doomsday. But nobody has gone to see this movie. In fact, folks, we can't hardly put a video out to talk about how badly this movie is performing because you all just don't care. You've moved on. You've left Marvel. Now, the important thing about that is if nobody goes to watch Thunderbolts and nobody goes to watch Captain America Brave New World, then they don't have the setup for Avengers Doomsday. Now, what does that mean for Fantastic Four? Well, it means they have one movie left to hope that people go see, that they can build anticipation up for the Avengers movie. Otherwise, Avengers Doomsday has to launch and basically explain to the audience in exposition from the very beginning exactly what's going on because nobody watched the preceding films. This is not where Marvel thought they would be. They also, Marvin, did not think that they would be embroiled in controversy, but Pedro Pascal is quickly becoming the new Rachel Zegler for Disney, and he is in a battle royale with J.K. Rowling. Here's what we've got on this. James Dreyfus over on X said, thoughts and prayers with J.K. Rowling today after the tongue lashing she's received from Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal called J.K. Rowling a heinous loser and fat. J.K. Rowling responds and says, I can't be bothered to Google. Who are they? As in, she doesn't know who Pedro is. We've got this article also from thatparkplace.com. Folks, if you're not yet going to this website, please get on over there because we need you to support independent media. This is a website that's been cited by the FCC, so it's got the bona fides, and Marvin's doing a great job. J.K. Rowling appears to fire back at Pedro Pascal after heinous loser insult with cheeky photo swap on X. Now, this came out on Wednesday, I believe, but this is the other fear that Disney has. Not only do they have to do the reshoots, not only is Thunderbolts failing and now Fantastic Four has to carry this, but Pedro Pascal has become the new Zegler for them. It says weeks after Pedro Pascal hurled an insult at J.K. Rowling, calling her those things, it's gotten worse. It says the insult heard across Instagram, and it refers to what's going on. Rowling is responding. Marvin, could you explain what exactly? And these dolls, JK, listen to me. JK, listen. I don't know what the dolls are about, but they're a little creepy, okay? I like you. I love you. the dolls, though. Come on, that's
I'll
the
tell
stuff
you.
that matters.
I'll tell you what the dolls are about. So basically, after he did this, she changed her banner image to these dolls that, if you notice, all of them have the brightly colored hair that put together can create, something that looks like a rainbow. Well, if you continue to scroll down, you could see exactly why she might have done this. At the premiere of Thunderbolts, Pedro Pascal wore a shirt that said, "Protect the dolls."
I see. And so protect the dolls is a statement. It's a slogan used for defending particular rights for people who identify in certain ways. Folks, you can figure it out. However, you're saying that JK is making fun of Pedro Pascal's shirt after she figured out who he is.
Absolutely. Yeah, he wore that to the Thunderbolts premiere, apparently. And from what I've heard, those Protect the Dolls shirts, I mean, it's all one big grift. The Protect the Dolls shirts apparently cost hundreds of dollars for that t-shirt.
Okay, so and we've got the post here from JK that we talked about earlier. All right, so here's the deal, Marvin. Disney's doing reshoots. Nobody went to go see Captain America: Brave New World. Nobody went to go see Thunderbolts. Relative to what they need to build anticipation, they have to make Fantastic Four work. And at the same time that all this is happening, at the same time that they're scrambling, clearly, because you wouldn't be doing reshoots this late unless you really are in trouble, Pedro Pascal is pulling a Zegler and getting into a fight with J.K. Rowling. It's the exact opposite thing that Disney needs to save the day. Pedro going the way of Zegler and attempting to get this thing into a situation where you could see Fantastic Four have a Snow White response if this metastasizes. If the Pedro Pascal, J.K. Rowling tiff turns into something bigger, let's say that J.K. decides she's going to go after him a couple weeks before the movie releases because she's had it with him and what he's saying about her. And by the way, this was him. She didn't she didn't call him out first. He came after her. Now they disagree, but whatever. Disney doesn't need this, Marvin. Disney doesn't need Pedro Pascal versus J.K. Rowling to explode on them.
I would also point out that, in the words of our friend LW Ghost, it gets worse because Disney has got Pedro Pascal coming up, next year in another very important movie, two of them, that being Avengers Doomsday and The Mandalorian and Grogu. So if people start to take to Pedro Pascal the way they've taken to Rachel Zegler, well, that's not one, not two, but three very important bombs that we could see people boycotting in terms of, because they're fed up with his social commentary.
Now, we just want to say, too, that when it comes to Star Wars, Pedro Pascal has been a little bizarre. And so we can see this, Marvin, right now. You can see the way that he was dressed and the way that he was interacting with Baby Yoda at Star Wars Celebration. Pedro's an odd guy. And I don't want to be mean. I don't want to ridicule. But Pedro's getting stranger. And when you've got, at this point, we're talking about billions of dollars on the line. Pedro is not just attached to Fantastic Four and to Grogu and Mandalorian, whatever the movie's called. He's also apparently going to be a major part of Avengers Doomsday. And I'm talking about a major part of it. So there is a lot riding on this guy not going full Zegler. Marvin, I'll give you the final word on this. Do you believe that we're watching someone go into that Snow White Zegler mode where you can't convince them to stop doing the things that damage the business?
Yeah. So Pedro Pascal he's kind of become this this symbol of, I guess, what Hollywood thinks masculinity should look like, because he plays a lot of very masculine roles, but then, he wears outfits like that with the puffy shirt and the weird boots, and he takes pictures cuddling with Oscar Isaac.
And Marvin, let's say this. We don't care about the fashion. No. We care about the economics. That's not the sort of thing that it economically benefits the company, I don't think. I don't care. He can wear whatever he wants. He can wear Ugg for all I care.
Yeah. Now, at the same time, he's alienated half the country. At the same time, he's alienated half the country with his social commentary. We all saw how he shared that meme pretty much right after Gina Carano shared her meme, and it said pretty much the exact same thing, comparing half the country to a group of people. Actually, I think what she had was worse. I'm sorry, what he had was worse than what she had, because
she was trying to bring people together. He was trying to separate people apart.
Yeah, he was trying to divide them by making comparisons to movements in Europe during the 1940s.
Gina was saying, "Hey, let's not treat each other like this. We know where this goes." And Pedro was like, treat each other like this. Treat each other like this.
Yep. And she was the one that was fired. So go figure. But what we're seeing now is not only people that are feeling alienated by his comments that no longer want to see him, but the general audiences are now rejecting him outright because they're sick of him, because he's oversaturated. Wonder Woman 1984, The Last of Us, The Mandalorian, Fantastic Four. He's in everything, and people are tired of it.
They would have loved, Marvin, to have Zegler and everything. I don't know what it is, but they really are drawn to these people who are abrasive and hold these views that put them in positions where they just can't stop themselves. I mean, honestly, he is now the 50-year-old male version of Rachel Zegler, and they can't stop. And for Disney, they're stuck with him. I mean, they're stuck with him now for another year and a half. I don't know if they need to get that publicist that shut up Zegler and put her with him and say, stop it. Whatever J.K. Rowling says to you, don't do it. We're already having to reshoot this freaking film because, we're in trouble. You can't add to the trouble, please.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Absolutely.
Marvin, you're doing a fantastic job as the editor-in-chief of That Park Place, and that's an understatement. I mean, when the government is citing you in their investigations into Disney, I think you're doing the good job of journalism. But Marvin, you also are running, not just one, but 2 YouTube channels. Tell the folks out there about them.
Sure, you can check us out at Tooneytown TV. It's our kind of our flagship channel. We do Toonie Talk TV every Thursday night at 8 p.m. We do a game stream Wednesdays at 9 p.m. This is all Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, we've also got Tooneytown Wrestling, which we do Toonie Talk Wrestling on Tuesdays. And we'll be also doing this Saturday, depending on when this comes out, on the 10th. We're going to be going live for WWE Backlash. So come join us, folks. It's a fun time.
Folks, we want to thank you for being here, and get over there and subscribe to the Tooneytown stuff as fast as you can. You won't get enough of it. Folks, this is the channel that continues to give you the truth with a capital T. We'll tell you that Lilo & Stitch is looking like one of the biggest movies ever, and at the same time, we'll tell you that Fantastic Four is in trouble like never before. Why? Because we believe in giving you the balanced perspective you need to know what's going to happen. Keeping you ahead of the culture curve is what we do. Folks, all we ask from you is that you click the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, please, no cupcaking, no pixie dusting, only reality in the comments below. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing. Happy weekend. Get a gift for your mother and do it now, or for the mom in your life, and keep having fun.
What? What? I put out a tweet of a fat minority with a booger in her nose, and I said, "This is an empowered woman." And Katako retweeted it.
You don't have your own X account, do you?
Oh, well, I actually created it a while ago. The greatest troll I've pulled off in a long time. Do you know how many things I've secretly tanked?
Oh gosh, I hope not. That would make me legally culpable. But, what are you talking about?
Sweet Baby Inc.
Huh?
Yep. I'm the...
Shut up.
I'm the CEO. Yeah, no, seriously, look, this is my profile picture. Everyone's just AI. It's great. I'm so excited to gaslight everyone and see what they're gonna like next because they think it's socially obligated.
Wait, so you're... No way, you're
Yep.
the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc.?
Maybe. But first, you should see the jewelry company I created.
We're gonna get sued. Oh.
It's gonna be good.